Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with Daily Technical Update. It is Tuesday the 14th of April and this edition is with FX and interest rates. This video is for educational purpose only. There's no recommendation or advice whatsoever intended. This is purely to demonstrate how I try to read the market using technical analysis and my experience and using everyday market movements. Let's start with euro dollar as usual. Euro dollar yesterday pushed above 117.40 resistance here, closed above and seems to be continuing a little bit further here. I think we could see a little bit of a setback because the key thing here is that the 55 moving average still want to drag it a little bit lower, whereas 100 is moving up and we have support here in the 200 moving average. Positive sentiment now on the RSI after closing above the 60 threshold. We are in the middle of the cloud, so it's a little bit fragile. We could see a little bit of a setback, but the uptrend has been established after it broke above of this triangle-like pattern above the 116.65.17 resistance, and now this. So there is potential higher in the coming days and weeks towards 118.25. It is not the strongest resistance, but it's there nevertheless, and it could push higher towards 117.25. But be aware, we could see some setbacks here, so be aware of that. We have support here at 116.60. If it takes out the lows from yesterday, for some reason 116.45, well then we are back here in this range around 116, so keep an eye on that. However, but look at this on the weekly, we are above this rising trend line and actually broke below. It tested from the upper side and then it took off. RSI is in the middle here, needs to break back above 60 threshold to confirm. I think it was just slightly below 40 there. Yeah, it was, but it seems like we are still holding on here. On the sterling dollar, or cable as we used to call it in the old days, let's zoom in to see a little bit. RSI currently flirting with the 60 threshold. Sterling dollar above 134.85 resistance. You can see here also the 55 is declining, so it's trying to drag it down a little bit. But we have the 100 up, we have the support with the 200. If it takes out the lows from yesterday here at 133.65, well then a bearish trend is back in session, so to speak. But I think we'll see it crawling higher here towards the upper part of the cloud and the 135.75 resistance. It's not the strongest one, but it is there. There will be some resistance also with the upper part of the cloud. Taking out that, well, then there's room up to around 137. Yeah, Euro sterling. Euro sterling that opened lower yesterday, bounced back. It opened just below the 86.85. The 38.2 retracement there, and the 55 moving average. It was very thin market, so still I think we will bounce further if we get back above the cloud there. We didn't close below, and that's the key. We didn't close below, so we're still slightly in a bullish sentiment and positive sentiment also with the RSI 60 threshold here needs to be broken above. If it takes out that again, then expect a push up. And this is the key area, 786 retracement here at 87.45. If it takes out the previous peaks there and this level, well, expect a push up towards 88 and higher. But if it takes out the lows from yesterday, then we are back below the cloud and in the region around 86.50. Dollar yen, well, it can't really make up its mind, can it? I mean, we are in a correction phase. We had a lower high there, a lower low, and now also a lower high. So a little bit of a bearish correction, but still positive sentiment on the RSI. We have the RSI flirting with this falling trend line here. Let's highlight it as blue so it's easy to see. It's actually flirting, trading around it. So what we need for any direction, we either needed to take out the lows here from that bigger candle there at 157.85. That can push it down to 156.80, where we then have the 55 and 100 moving average coming up. or which I believe will happen, but I'm not quite sure. Let's see if it happens. That it takes out that spike yesterday, and especially 160 and a change, 160 here. If it does that, then expect a push above 161. But for now, we are trading in this little corrective pattern here, a flag-like pattern. It is not the most perfect one, but nevertheless, we have a little bit of correction there, and keep an eye on those levels for breakout. Euro yen still pushing higher, and I think we could see it reaching 188, 188.30. This correction here, projected higher, is indicating that target after breaking several resistance levels. First of all, we had this one, and then we had this was quite significant. As you can see, it took a little bit of time, and then of course this one here at 186.85. So we are in a bullish trend, and we could push higher in the coming days, a week. I don't have any previous targets or peaks or highs to look at. So for now, we are estimating how much it can. But it's not about the target; it's about the stop. When it will turn around, and it needs to take out the lows from yesterday at 185.70, and then we'll break back to the 184.75 if that plays out. Also yen, also crawling higher, setting back a little bit here this morning, testing the trend line there from the other side, but we are in a bullish trend. Positive sentiment on the RSI, and I think we'll see it crawling higher here towards 114 in the coming days, unless it takes out the lows from yesterday at 111.15. You can see it's you say 111.18, yeah, but I always subtract a little bit to the downside and add a little bit to the upside, because we are in an over-the-counter market, so it is not an exchange, so there could be some variations from trading platform to trading platform and from chart to chart. So if it takes out the lows from yesterday, expect a setback down to 110, but I think we will see it crawling higher in the coming days. The sterling yen also pushing higher here, now above this peak towards 215.57. I think we'll see it also towards 216, possibly also 217. And we can see here on the weekly how much a push it is. It is basically trying to get back, and we have to go really far back to these levels here around 215.85. But as you can see, there's much higher levels in historically back in 2007. That was just before the financial crisis kicked in. So let's see what's going on there. The Aussie yen, or the Aussie dollar, let's have a look at what's going on there. And let me just zoom in on this too. Lower. If it takes out the lows from yesterday, then we have some strong support here at 69.65. RSI is still flirting with the 60 threshold. It hasn't broken boundary, which is quite weird, but it hasn't. So it hasn't confirmed this uptrend here. But I think we have, first of all, we have established a bullish trend with higher highs, higher lows, and a higher high being rejected just below the 786 retracement there, 71.10. If it takes it out, which I believe it will, again, it's not a promise, it's not a recommendation, but I think it will, then we will push higher towards 72 area and possibly higher. But again, it needs to stay above this level here around 69.60. Dollar Canada sliding further back, tried to bounce yesterday. We talked about it could bounce from there and then crawl high, but it doesn't do that. Sellers came back in and took control, and now I think we'll see it setting back to around 137.50, where we also have 50% of this uptrend. We have some support, and we could even drop back down to around 137 and the 55 moving average here, and the other part of the cloud that will give some support. We have the RSI declining, and it will probably touch the 40 threshold, then it can bounce off, and that will match if it bounces off from this support here at 137.50. So let's see. But if it moves below here, well, then it could also break into negative sentiment. The 100 moving average coming down there, kind of dragging it lower, 55 giving some support here. So a little bit of limbo, but as long as it doesn't take out the peak from yesterday at 138.80, well, then we are in this bearish move. Euro Swiss below the 100 moving average. This is still the key resistance here around 92.65.70 and the 200 moving average. We are currently below this rising trend line. Let's see, can it crawl back above it, or will it slide lower to 91.60, possibly down to the old partner cloud and the 55 moving average currently at 91.35. So we could see a dip below to that, but still positive sentiment, but divergence here. So I would say, I think we'll see it range bound between 91.60 and 92.60. And let's move on to dollar Swiss, opening just above the cloud here, just above 55 moving average and the 78.15 support RSI just above the 40 threshold. So that will be key to watch here. If it starts breaking below here and we get RSI below 40, well, then we could see it sliding lower to 77.5 and the lower part of cloud. So, but I think at first take it will bounce a little bit, but it is under pressure, no question about it. Also, if your dollar is moving higher, what we can do is say, is this a bounce? I'm not quite sure about it. So, but I put it there just in case. So let's see here then throughout the day and tomorrow. The dollar index still has this gap to close if it wants to resume uptrend, and I don't think it will. I think we'll see a test of the minor support there at 98, key support down here at 97.44. If it takes out that, well, then we are definitely in a bearish trend, but already here we have RSI flirting with the 40 threshold, and currently it is below. It actually closed below yesterday. So we have a confirmed bearish trend, but these supports here are still in play. So 98 seems to be key, very short term, and the next one down here, 97.44. Moving on to interest rates, US 10-year Treasury yields basically stepping sideways, trying to spike higher there yesterday. So what I will do, I will add this little horizontal line just to make it more visible, and I will take this one too and put it there. You can see how it corresponded nicely with the 50% retracement of this downtrend there and 61 here. So if it takes out the peak from yesterday, then this 61.8 retracement there at 439 could come under pressure and probably be taken out. But for now, we are sliding slowly back, and maybe that's why I saw that yesterday. Some of the home builder companies in US, they were doing quite nicely. However, we are sliding slowly back here, and if it takes out 423, the spike down here, well, then we're looking at 470, 417, where we have stronger support coming up in the form of the 100 moving average and the 200. You can see the 100 tomorrow. It has broken above the 200, the 100 there, then that is a bullish signal. It's not the strongest one, but nevertheless it is there, and we already have the 55 moving above those two. So there is some strong support in this region here. So I'm not quite sure we will get all the way down, but it's not unlikely it could dip down and then bounce. The European yields, the EU 10-year, well, still in the bigger picture, it's trading sideways here between 313 and 390 down here. So that's the breakout it needs to do. What we can do, I'll draw a trend line here on the declining RSI. As you can see, if it starts breaking above this declining trend line there, well, then we could see it pushing higher on the yields there. The UK 10-year, well, bounced a little bit yesterday, but didn't really do much. It needs to get back above 495. I don't think anyone in UK will be happy about that. So I think they are very content at that if we stay a little bit under pressure here. But let's see, if it takes out the 495, well, then we could see another pressure above 5%, and a test of these peaks here could come in play. So keep an eye on if you're interested in that. Japanese 10 sitting back a little bit, but still in a bullish trend. 250, really significant level. You can see it touched it just smack bang on it. If it takes it out, well, then we are in for another ride higher towards 260, 265. But a little bit of setback, not a big surprise. So let's see if we add a Fibonacci to it. Maybe we should have a little bit of correction there. And we have some strong support here in the region around 230, 231. All right, that's all for today on FX and interest rates. Have a nice day and keep charting out there.